Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? So what I have decided to do today, we've obviously got the baling to carry on with. I brought the New Holland over here and we're going to change the tyres on this one to narrow tyres. Switch that over, there we go. Customise. Yes, okay. Do we have a weeder? I think we bought one, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we did. Let's just take a look. No, yes, a weeder. Right, we do have a weeder. So I need to take this tractor up to the shop so that I can get the weeder and bring it back, because all of the fields are now on growth stage 1. So that's taken about 6 hours with the fast growth rate, which means that it's going to be very, very quick to get a crop. It also means that we're going to have to be fairly sharpish if we're going to get sorted, yeah, if we're going to be able to sort of keep on top of crops and so on. I did say that I would do field 1 only the once. My weekly question, before I go any further, is do you want me to get this placeable here? Now, I think I said in the last one that it was a mod. It's not a mod, it's standard in-game. A hayloft. Now, a few people have pointed out that you don't get them in New Zealand, or you certainly don't see them very frequently in New Zealand. There may be 1 or 2 around. Haven't explored the entire country. So yeah, it's there on the cards. Do you want me to get the hayloft? It only accepts loose hay and loose straw. We cannot put bales into it and use it as a bale storage. It's only for loose materials. So yeah, yes or no, it's your vote, it's your game. Head in the comment section down below, let us know what you want, and don't forget to actually cast your vote up in the top right hand corner. I also, yesterday, and so far today, forgot to put this on the kilometres. So we'll do that now, and thank you for everybody for pointing that out. I also like to apologise for... Oh, hang on. What you do need to do is you've got to take the weight off of the tractor when you go to change it at the shop, because otherwise you can end up sort of losing it or dropping it in underneath the map. It does all sorts of weird things. So we'll just do that a minute. And we'll come into here. We want to customize this one. We don't want twins, we don't want wides, we want standards for this one, because we're going to be putting this one onto the baler. Yeah, see? Did you see that? Leap around and bounce. If the front weight is on as well, it can cause all sorts of problems. So, yeah. We'll use the standards on this one. We're going to use the little Lindner to tow the baler. It was also pointed out that the fence that we were using yesterday to do the turning and the raking was just a teensy little bit of overkill. Teensy bit, you know. And yes, I would probably agree with that. It was a little bit of overkill on that one. But it was fun. It was still fun nonetheless. So we will take this one down, and hopefully that Linder will now follow us. We've got the follow me mod activated. And that one is one of the ones on Mod Hub, so you can use it if you want to. You don't need any special links or anything like that. And we'll go racing up through here. So we're going to do the baling with the Lindner. We're going to do raking with this one. We'll start the raking off. I'll go and do, get started on field 2. We can just sort of do a round around the outside, and then we can let the hired help carry on. The Lindner can do the baling, and that one will cope very well with that. And then we will use the Fent with the small UAL trailer to pick up all the bales. And I think generally everything is going to work out quite nicely. Now, that tractor is taking a long time to catch up. I'm wondering if perhaps the speed of it is a little bit slower than the one that we're using. Let's just leap in. Yeah, 43 top speed on that one. So if we swap them over a minute and put this one at the front and then put the other one on follow me, stop there. And I'm probably going to be in the way of the cars now. So, oh, no, that's alright. It does make it a little bit difficult sometimes. There we go. Leap out. And now this one can go in front, and we shouldn't have any issues. This one, however, doesn't have a flashing beacon. If I put the flashing beacon on... Right, even though it doesn't have one, if I put the beacon on this tractor, even though you don't see anything flashing, it still activates the beacon behind. So that's quite alright with me. I'm quite happy to accept that. So we'll go racing up through here. I will go up there, and I will lease the small baler, because we're just doing this one field with small bales, and then we will stick with the big bales and big baler that we went and bought. We ought to really, because we did spend an absolute fortune on that baler and the artisan for picking the bales up. So really, we want to make good use of them. So this is just a one-off so that we can test the small UAL trailer that's been released. I thought it would be sort of a good place to check it out. So yeah, I'll get the baler and I'll take it up to the top field. And I will also put the rake onto the New Holland, and we'll get that over into the other field. I'm not going to put a weight on the New Holland. I don't think it would need it for doing that particular job, and you want to keep the vehicle as light as possible as well, I think. So, yeah, that's why we're not going to put a weight on the front of the tractor for now. We probably will later on, but for now we can leave it. I'll take, yeah, when we can get started on field 2, I'll probably do field 1 in my own time. We'll sort of see how that goes. Just coming up to the farm, we will do once around the outside of this field, and then we can leave the hired help to carry on. I am wondering how well the hired help would do if we just put it going in the field and we didn't sort of do anything around the outside first, and then I could sort of do a tidy up once we're finished. This could be interesting, actually. We bring it up over here, and if we just go with the standard hired help, I think if we put it this way, would be roughly where he's got to go. So let me just try this. Put it there. He'll straighten up. He is the wheels were slipping a little bit there, so it is a possibility. Right, we've got a little tiny bit on the edge on this side that it's not quite reaching. And I'm not sure what he's going to do with the trees at the top, so I can come back and sort of catch that little bit on the edge there when we're finished. And we'll see how he does with the turn, but most of this field, because of the way the field is shaped, he should do the majority of this field without needing any assistance. And he comes right up to the end, and he lifts. Sometimes, if the tree objects aren't, because most of these trees, they look like they'll be just regular trees that we can cut down, but it's sometimes if the trees aren't ones that you can cut, but they've still got collision on them, it could cause a few issues, but I don't think there's anything we need to... It seems okay. So I don't really want to spend this episode watching a rake, because we've seen rakes plenty of times before. I know it's a novelty to have an odd-shaped field, but we're going to be doing a lot of odd-shaped fields from now on. The time-lapse, we're moving to Rattlesnake Valley, although that's big square fields, and we'll be moving there hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'm hoping it'll be before the Big Bud DLC comes out, but we'll have to see on that one. Hopefully it will be. And then Goldcrest, we've got just under 2 months left, I think. It's about 7 weeks, so month and a half. And we'll be moving on from there, and that'll probably be all odd-shaped fields as well. So, yeah, we've got lots of realistic shaped fields instead of absolutely dead square ones coming up, so we don't need to watch this right now. Okay. That's enough for watching this. I'm going to meet you up at the sheep farm with the Welger baler in tow on the Lindner. And here we are with the Lindner and the baler. Yeah, I really did say... I was playing Cluedo only the other day. I think in the States it's called Clue, and I'm not sure what it's called elsewhere. But anyway, yeah, I was playing Cluedo, and yeah, with the... So, yeah, the Lindner with the baler up at the sheep farm. It very much sounded like I was making an accusation in Cluedo. That was really did strike me, that. So yeah, we're going to start doing our baling now. The maneuverability on this tractor is just incredible. I love this tractor, I genuinely do. Right, let's unfold the baler, and we don't actually need to do this while we're moving along, because it pivots on the spot. The wheels just move forwards and backwards, so we don't actually need to worry about damaging the tyres by doing it. You don't have to sort of move along as you do it. And that is pretty much it for setting this one up. We don't need to do anything else. So start the baler. And there we go. I love this machine. I really do love this baler. It's well made. The animation on it is good as well. It does appear, though, that even though this tractor is the perfect size for it, it may not be able to pull it all that well. It was struggling a little bit there to get going. We shall see. We're now going to go all the way around this field and do all the baling. We've done no bales on this map at all yet, so once we finish this, we'll be able to see just how many bales we got in the field. And oh, this is so much fun. I love using this baler. There's something about this baler that just really appeals to me on a personal level. Probably because I spent so much time as a teenager helping to do hay in small bales. It brings back a lot of good memories. I had a lot of good memories doing that. Oop. Be careful there. And this is where the four-wheel steer is sort of really assisting, although the incredibly low horsepower on this tractor is not ideal, really. It is a very low horsepower tractor. The bales, however, do appear to be wanting to slide down the hill just a fraction, so hopefully they won't slip down too far. Although I think all the fences have got collision on them, so we should be okay with that. Shouldn't really be much of an issue. Let's see if we can look at it like this. Now, we got to remember, I think it was 9.3 meters, wasn't it, on the track with the GPS mod. And I was told in the comment section, someone did point out in the comment section that you can actually save courses for the GPS, which I didn't realise. I didn't know that. You can save courses with the GPS, and then you can go onto the same field with different tractor, different machine, reload that course, and you got it exactly how it was, which is really good. And then we just need to tweak it a little bit for the offset with the baler. So we will sort of have a look at it and see about saving the track, although I'm not sure how much we would use it again. I am genuinely loving this, the tractor and baler setup here. This does seem to work well. It seems to be a really good sized tractor for this baler, and I really do like it. Although the one issue I've got here at the moment is the power of the tractor compared to the baler doesn't seem to be sufficient, when I know for a fact in real life it should be more than enough. You could run this baler on a 35 horsepower tractor without too much trouble. So if you're running it, what is the horsepower of this tractor? Let's just take a quick look. What should it be pushing out? Lindner, there we go, the Lindner. It should be pushing out 100 horsepower. Right, there is no reason whatsoever that this tractor should be struggling with a small baler. So it's just another thing with like the game mechanics and the physics. You do get these little issues sometimes, and having done this stuff in real life, it really sort of it's quite glaring to me that it's not quite right, because I know that it should be okay. I've seen it done with I mean, I guess the small baler wasn't quite as big as this one, but I've seen small balers being towed around with 35 horsepower tractors without any trouble whatsoever. So yeah, I know for a fact that it should be absolutely fine. Now we got to get through the really big... Oh, I know what we can do. We can try and go through here at top speed. We could get to top speed and see how it does with the bales. It doesn't really launch them very well, does it? We'll have to get back to that. I'll go round the outside. I'll come back to you when we're coming up the hill so you can see the other really big lot, so that we can move into the land work there and just try out the GPS on it. I want to see how the GPS works, and I'm hoping that we can get the trailer up here today so that we can pick these bales up, and then tomorrow we'll be able to move on to doing a different task. At least that's the plan. I've just had it come up that this tractor has completed its job. There's a couple of little bits that are missing on just like around the very edges of the map, so it does seem to have done a pretty good job. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tidy this up, and as soon as I've finished doing this, I'm going to take it over to field 1, and I'm just going to set it going in field 1 and see how it does. Hopefully I can sort of do most of that, like it'll just run in the background. It'll save me having to nurse it through off screen, which does take quite a while. And we can sort of do this whilst we're doing other things. Obviously we can't sort of jump forward to the next task until this is done, because we can only do the weeding during the first growth stage. So we do have to sort of be aware of that. So I'll go and finish this, then I will get back to the baling and get the rest of the way around that field. Hopefully we can still get up there with the auto load and pick up a few bales. Well, I did start doing this, and it did it a little bit by itself, but now it keeps saying that it's getting hung up on getting blocked by an object. It doesn't like coming up to the fence at an angle. It keeps sort of touching the fence and then getting caught up. So I'm going to have to do once up this side, and I'm hoping that'll be enough. Then I can just sort of let it carry on by itself. Although I'm not sure. It does seem to be a little bit temperamental. This field is all peculiar angles and sides, and doesn't lend itself well to the hired help. So we will have to see. But I'll do this, finish up doing this bit here so that I can leave it going, and then we can get back to the baling, because obviously that is what we would like to try and do today. Right, we are bombing up the hill at a solid 9 kilometers an hour. So it really does struggle to pull this one up the hill. And like I said before, that is definitely got to be the game physics. It's certainly not the tractor. This is a 100 horsepower tractor, and these days, because you get so much power in your different machines, you sort of you forget just how much power is in. Oh, there we go. Oh, it is shooting it out a little bit. It's not quite like the what we did at the end of Higher Hills, but that was pretty good, I think. That was pretty good. It did launch several out. I don't think that we would get it to do more than that. The only way that we could is if we did what I did at the end of High Hills and changed the bale quantity to 10. If we were to do that, we would then launch a massive amount. And I'm going to do that, I think, at the end of one of the series. I don't know which one. Maybe we'll do it on Goldcrest. Let me know. Actually, you can mention that in the comments down below. If I can, I'll get I'll change the quantity on the small baler to 10. I'll get the big baler from ARM team and change that to 10, and we'll sort of see how that one reacts to it. And I will also get a modded baler as well from just a standard size baler, and we'll do the same on that, and we'll see how that works out. We could have a lot of fun with that if we sort of do that as our final episode on Goldcrest, a complete break from reality. I like to do those videos very occasionally just to sort of mix it up a little bit, and it's always highly entertaining watching what happens when you try to do this to the bales and the balers. I used to do it myself off screen. I mean, I've only done it once. I did it once in the Higher Hills one at the end of FS15. I haven't tried modifying the bale quantities yet in FS17, but I can't imagine it is going to be vastly different to what we did in FS15. I think it will still, I mean, it might not sort of push the baler along like it did in the last one. It might just end up throwing the bales out, but not sort of affecting the baler like the last one did. Because obviously the last one, it really did affect the baler itself and sort of pushed it up into the air. And I had a comment put on there only just recently, I think it was like in the last 24 hours. Someone said bale power is now a new thing that NASA are looking into, because we had our bale-powered rocket that was going across the map. I loved that. I genuinely did. I laughed long and hard about that episode, and I would like to do it again. I think it'd be... So, yeah. I would like to do it with all 3 different balers lined up, and I'd like your comments about when you think we should do it, and if you think we should do it at all. I mean, some of you might decide that you don't think really we should be doing it on the map, or on any of the maps. Maybe right at the end of FS17, just before FS19 comes out, we can sort of do it then. Or, you know, let me hear your thoughts. What do you think? Would you like an episode, probably the last episode on Goldcrest, I'm thinking, so in a 6 to 7 weeks time, a complete break from reality, and just sort of do some crazy things, you know, launch bales around. We'll change the quantity of the bales and sort of have play around with that, maybe set up a few ramps and get that Mustang car that does a really good speed along the road, so if we can get it launching, you know, all that sort of thing. You just this kind of a fun day out for the whole family. Oh, I know what else we could try. We could always try getting a load of bales, stacking bales up onto the train track, and then driving the trains into them and see how that works. I know that there are mods that you can get that push the speed of the train up to something obscene, but you've got to go round several circuits in order for it to build the speed up properly. So yeah, I'm not quite sure if we're going to try that. You know, we are running out of time. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to pick the bales up today, because we've been doing the raking as well. We might end up the weeding. We might end up having to just collect the bales tomorrow. But let me just get to the end of this row over here, and then we can set up in the middle. It was 9.3, wasn't it? That was the... I think it was 9.3. I hope it was. If it wasn't, then we've got to start again. But the other issue is, of course, we changed the angle of it. And because we changed the angle of it, that might make it a little bit more difficult to line up and get ready. So let's just go to here. We want to get the GPS mod up. So there's the... Yeah, see, we got to... You can save and load them, which I didn't realize. I didn't know anything about that. So, yeah, we need to... increase the working width to 9.3. There. And now we've got to... Oh, no, we don't want to do that. We want to rotate it round like that. Move it back over. But what I want to do is I need to offset. So, which way does it offset? Oh, I know what I want to do. The tractor has got to offset so that the actual machine runs up the middle of the row. Like that is how it does it, isn't it? So, what's the... Can I auto offset? Oh, there's the auto offset. And now I'll just increase the working width again. 9.3. There we go. And that actually looks like it's about spot on. So let's just try that a minute. And then we can adjust it as we go up. No, I want control there. So let's start moving up the hill. Is that right? I think we're doing okay. Excellent. So that's going up there okay. I don't think it actually matters if we change the offset, because it doesn't matter... What does it? We'll have to see. Excuse me. Yeah, so it does seem to be working, which means we can look at the tractor like this. We can watch the baler at all sorts of angles. This was the whole point of this exercise. This is what we wanted to do. So let's just get to the top, and then we will turn round. Let me just come up here. We need to come out of the GPS mode, so we come up and around. Because we've got all these bales on the ground on the outside, it does make it a little bit more difficult. That's okay, we can live with that. We come back down here. Yes, the offset has moved to the correct side. So if I engage it again, now this is the real question, is it going to be in exactly the right place when we've moved over? It's pretty close. Let's just start moving down the hill. Yes, it does seem to be working okay. Let me just stop a minute and control, bring those two up, remove it, and now it doesn't look like we're using any artificial assistance whatsoever. We're just running up and down the hill. Right, excuse me a minute. I just changed the width to 9.4 meters instead of 9.3, just so that it moves it over a tiny little bit, and hopefully that will then be in the right place. So we'll come on down here. I'm starting to think I'm going to be absolutely thrilled when I've gotten rid of this cold. It's got a little bit of lag there, a bit of a lag spike, probably because of the number of bales that we've got out on the ground now. So let's just come back up through here. We're not going to have time to do our bale collection today. That's going to have to be tomorrow. See, it's working okay when you come up the hill. I think it's just the side of the machine. I think because it's moving over onto the other side, it's the offset is like slightly different. But generally speaking, I think this is okay. I'm pretty pleased though. Let's get rid of the map. I like this. I could get used to this. And I've been people have been telling me all about the Lindner tractor. I didn't know anything about this Lindner tractor. Never driven one before. I've never seen one in real life. And people have been telling me all sorts of things about the tractor. In where it's designed for. It's designed for steep ground. I think Switzerland is like its place of origin, although I'm not sure on that. It might be Norway or Finland or somewhere like that. But yeah, mountainous regions. It's designed for steep fields, and that's why you would normally run this machine with doubles on. You would normally expect to see this one running around with twin tyres on, front and back, and the double wheel steering, the four-wheel steering, that assists with manoeuvring on steep hillsides. And I could really appreciate this, having done quite a lot of work on steep ground myself. I could really appreciate just how incredibly useful having four-wheel steer and the double wheels as well that would be. It would just, yeah, that's quite something. I would love to be able to have a go with one on some really steep ground and really sort of push what the tractor is capable of doing. I've done work myself on very, very steep ground. I know just how dangerous it can be. I know the sort of things that you can experience when working very, very steep ground. And the more that I see of this tractor, and the more people tell me about their own personal experiences with using it, the more I really do start to appreciate just what a feat of engineering this beast is. I mean, look at it. It's wide, it's very low to the ground. It's got quite, it does have a low carriage on it, and it does look like you've got the block and everything, engine and everything. It's low and wide on the ground. You add twin wheels to that, and you've got a wonderful wide width on this tractor, so that you can go across the hills when you need to. And obviously the twin wheels on it, that's really going to help the grip when you're trying to move up and down the hills. And it's 100 horsepower squashed into this tiny little tractor. What an absolute wonderful, wonderful feat of engineering this thing is. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, I really would like to be able to try this tractor out one day. Hopefully I will get the opportunity. I do sort of keep an eye out for all sorts of tractors and everything working, and do my utmost to try to have a go every now and then on different vehicles. I do sometimes get very funny looks when I ask for just a turn on a tractor, but it's something I can live with, because being able to have a go on some of these things is just amazing. It's absolutely wonderful. And I think I'm going to have to just ignore the GPS coming down the hill because of the offset on it. The offset doesn't sort of center the baler precisely when it's out on either side, so I missed a couple of little bits there. But as we're likely to do hay again in this field, I'm not too worried about leaving a couple of little bits. We'll just get them the next time we do hay. Not realistic, I appreciate. If it was real life, the sheep themselves, when they get let into the field once we finished, they would gather up all those little wisps of hay that get left behind. And there's always some. It doesn't matter how good you are at using the rake and the baler and everything else, there will always be some little bits left behind somewhere. And the amazing thing is, I mean, I've not really noticed it with sheep because we haven't I didn't deal with sheep like that. It was cattle that we always used to let into the fields after we'd done hay, but they could be on wonderful fresh green grass, and it's an absolute treat. And yet they'll go racing into the field that's just been cut for hay, and they will race each other to try to get to the little tiny bits of hay that are lying around the field, rather than worrying about eating the fresh green grass, which I always thought was a bit odd, because in the spring, when I know that they've been eating hay and silage non-stop for months at that point, but I guess it's mainly because no, which one is empty? It's Y. I guess it's mainly they just want a bit of variation in their diet, don't they? So it's sort of a bit of a nice treat because they haven't had hay for quite a while. So let's just take the last bale out of there, come back in, and we can fold the baler up. There we go. And we're not going to be using this one again, at least not anytime soon, and it is only leased, so we will return this one. I will do that. My question for this week is placeables. I have right here, it's the standard in-game hayloft, which we've never used before, so I thought we might try it here. I'm aware that it would be incredibly unusual to see something like this in New Zealand. However, I did do a Google search and I did see an example of one of these in New Zealand. So yeah, we will just be, it'll be a bit of a rarity, but as we've never used it before, I thought this would be an ideal opportunity because we're focusing on cattle and sheep here. We're going to need somewhere to store a load of hay. I thought this could be a really good place to do it. So do you want me to use the hayloft or not? It's your vote, it's your game. Head in the comment section down below, let us know what you want, and don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. Like I said, I will take this one back to the dealership and return it. Can I get right round here without having to shunt? It's a bit tight, but we are doing it. Can I get... Yes, I can. Excellent. The manoeuvrability on this tractor is just fantastic. I love it. So yeah, I'll go and return this baler. If you would like me to do small bales again at another time, let me know, but for now we're going to stick with the big bales after this because we've got the big baler and we've got the artisan and everything, and then we'll use them. I'm going to try and get a little bit more of the raking done before tomorrow, but we'll still be able to let a little bit more of that carry on tomorrow while we're working here in the hayfield. If you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.